This week, the day finally came when we could say goodbye to the white vinyl siding that you see behind me. It is such an eyesore on such a beautiful building, so we are very excited to see it go.
It's not going to be a small job, so this week we decided that we would start on the front of the manor, around the front door.
When we took the siding off this, we discovered that underneath was this very, very attractive brick facade. And if you actually look at this, you can see how thick it is, because it's kind of like a paper, and it's pretty thick, and it's actually mounted onto these battens on this lath that they have over the original wood. So what we're doing is we're pulling all of this off. We've taken the siding off, we're now pulling off this brick to expose the wood. And what's interesting is I've just started doing this side here, and you can see that underneath it's almost like they're just regular wood shingle panels. You can see here the three, which is very different to the front. And what we found on the front of the house are these amazing wood pieces that look like stone. But as I've just started to uncover this side, I've discovered that it's actually not the same. It's a different wood paneling, which is interesting. It's always interesting when you find out, when you uncover things and you find things that you wonder, why did they do that? Why did they do one wood on the front and then another wood on the side? So who knows, but either way, it's going to be fantastic to have it back to the original wood. You can see as I'm pulling this off the number of nails that are in the wood. I think that someone was over enthusiastic when they put on this brick facade with their nails, and then over enthusiastic again when they put the siding on. So the result is that we have hundreds of nails, and so we're taking all of those nails out, and then all the nail holes are going to be filled with wood filler, and then we're going to obviously scrape down and clean up all the original wood, fill in all the gaps, make sure it's nice and watertight and weatherproof, and then we're going to paint it with a really high quality exterior paint to ensure that it's nicely sealed and nicely finished, and then we can really see the true beauty of the original wood. What we found at the front of the house was that the wood panels underneath, the wood siding underneath the vinyl siding and the brick, was this beautiful wood. And they've actually made the wood to look kind of like sandstone. I've never seen it before, and it's just so unique. But as we've taken off the front siding around the window at the front of the manor, it just shows how stunning this is going to look when it's all finished and painted up.
So this is how it looked when we started, and just look at it now. What a difference the vinyl siding makes when it's all gone and the wood's exposed.
In one sense, we're actually grateful for that vinyl siding and the fake brick, because it's been underneath that for so many years. You can see that the wood is actually in really, really good condition, and it's actually kept the original wood. So now that we can preserve it, we can look after it, we can actually keep it just as it was back in the 1800s when it was originally built.
So while we were working on the siding this week, we were also working on replacing the rotten beams and posts around the front of the manor. We'd already taken out the old rotten posts and found that there was a lot more rotten wood than we were expecting. So it was actually a really good job that we decided to strip it right back. We took out the supporting beams that were rotten and replaced them with new ones set in concrete that are really nice and sturdy and will last for many, many years.
our first post on our new front entrance area of the manor is now in. And we went with these big 6x6 hemlock wood. And it's actually a rough cut, and we decided that we wanted to go with the rough cut because it actually gave us a true 6x6. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to seal it and treat it, and then clad it in wood so it will look like a Georgian post with some decoration and bits on it. So it will be very, very weatherproof, it will be nice and watertight, and it's got that really nice big chunky post. So the first one's in, the second one is about to go in today, and our roof is looking good. And so very, very soon we'll actually be able to take out this flooring. This deck flooring is all coming out, and we are going to discover what is underneath the deck. This old deck has been on the manor for many, many years, and so we're actually taking the whole deck off and replacing it with concrete steps. But it's going to be interesting what we find underneath, because we know there's rocks, but we're wondering if there's going to be any other treasures that we find. We're very excited that we'll actually be able to see this original rock wall that's on the manor. Currently it's underneath the deck, and so when we pull the deck floor out, we'll actually be able to see the rock wall and discover maybe some treasures under here. Who knows, right? We're then going to build some new concrete steps up to the door to replace this wooden deck. This week I finished the gravel paths that I'd been building around the curved rock wall that I built the other week at the front of the manor.
I lost count of how many wheelbarrows of dirt and gravel I moved, but it definitely saved me from going to the gym.
I decided that I wanted to build a gravel rock pathway around the beautiful curve with the rock wall, and we're going to put flowers and planting in the flower bed on the right there. And so I created this curved gravel path that allows you to walk all the way around the front of this rock wall. Now, we still need a bit of work. We still need our steps to go in, and the other section of the rock wall needs to be built. But this week I was focusing on this gravel path, and so it will lead, well, it does lead to the edge here. And right now there's nothing there because we are going to be building steps that will go down to the lower level here, and then I put in a nice little curve. Again, you've got to pretend that there's grass because right now our lawn has not been made, but I've then put in a gravel path that goes along the back of the property here, and will then slope down to the bottom part and to the lower level. And again, that hasn't been put together yet, and we haven't made that yet, but that's where it will be eventually. You can see on the left here, this is my sloped flower bed that I've been digging out, and I'm going to plant English cottage garden in that slope. I've still got some digging out. You can see the weeds that are a little overgrown at the back there, but they will all be dug out to make a really nice planting area, and an area in the backyard that is a nice area to come out and enjoy time in. This area here, which is currently very, very lumpy and bumpy, is going to be our lawn, and all this is going to be scraped up and reseeded so we have a nice big lawn. It was also really exciting this week to see the terrace section, or this section of the terrace, come together. We've backfilled the rock wall, put the gravel in, and it's got a really nice finish. And this terrace area is going to be an area where we can have little bistro chairs and we can sit out, have some drinks. The big steps and the fire escape are going to be gone, but it will be a lovely area where you can sit out and enjoy a gin and tonic.
So I'm going to get back to work, and I'll see you next week on the next episode of the Ladysmith Manor Diaries.